welcome back. Civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson died peacefully this morning, surrounded by loved ones. He was 84 years old. Before his passing, Jackson marched alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he went on to found his own organizations, and that's committing to fighting for justice and equality for the underrepresented. Community activists and religious leaders from our area, from Palm Beach County to the Treasure Coast, are reacting to the death of the civil rights icon. And joining us this afternoon is local bishop and former mayor of Vero Beach, Thomas Masters here. Mayor Masters, thank you so much for being here.
To be here with you.
This is something that I know it hits you personally because he was your friend. So I'm so sorry for your loss.
And a good friend.
A good friend.
Yes.
Talk to us about how he impacted your life.
In several ways. He was here back during the Gore and Bush controversy.
Yes, the election back in 2000, which I hope we could play that video right now. We have video where you are standing with him, leading those marches. Yeah. And there you are, sir, right here, talking at different places, at churches. But there was a march that was led.
What I remember so much, Jesse and I, Reverend Jackson and I, we were marching together, and someone screamed at a tall building, "Jesse, go home!" And I said, "Reverend, what we gonna do?" He said, "Keep marching, Masters, keep marching." And that's what we did. Lieutenant Beverly Morrison from the Sheriff Department was the security. It's just so many memories that I have of Reverend Jackson. It's sad. I've been kind of crying, very tearful today. But I remember when he would say, "Weeping might endure for a night," but he would say, "Joy cometh in the morning." So we're going to celebrate a life well lived. And you know, it's interesting, he died in Black History Month. Wow. And you know, Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, all died in the month of February, a month of love. And he was a man of love. So we're going to celebrate his life and legacy.
Tell me a little bit about how you plan to continue his message and his legacy as you know, we move forward.
Keep standing up for justice, being there for young people. We're going to keep crying for what's right, challenge our government leaders to do the right thing. This is what Dr. King died for. Jesse Jackson died for justice, peace, equality, freedom, but more importantly, love. That's what we're going to continue to do. As a matter of fact, we're going to hold a memorial service in honor of Reverend Jackson in about a week. And we want everybody to come, because he would often say, black, white, red, yellow, brown, we are all precious in God's sight.
And it's a beautiful way to end this. Thank you so much for being here. I do want to know, you know, one of our coworkers, Al Peffley, he mentioned a story before you coming on, and every time he would call you while you were mayor for Vero Beach, you would always pick up the phone and you would say, "I'm on my way to pick up Reverend Jackson at the airport."
And Al would say, "When's he coming?" I said, "I'm not telling you." I'm not telling you.
I think right now a lot of people, that's what they're doing. They're sharing stories and memories, and his legacy that will continue.
One story I want to share with you. We were in Tallahassee. We were going from building to building doing the Gore thing. And there was a young lady there, and she was smoking a cigarette. Reverend looked over to her and said, "Look, you're too cute to be smoking." And she took a cigarette and threw it out real quickly. I will always remember that.
I remember his voice, too.
Yes.
He always had a strong voice.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
I will be right back.
For civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson.
His family says he died peacefully this morning, surrounded by loved ones at the age of 84. Jackson leaves behind a lasting legacy, including a significant impact here in South Florida. Our Lulie Ortiz joins us now from the live desk and has a look at how he's being remembered.
Yeah, as news spread of his passing, many here at home are remembering Reverend Jesse Jackson, a man who walked armed in arm with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and later became a civil rights champion. His wife is from the Treasure Coast, born in Fort Pierce. Reverend Jackson went on to build organizations dedicated to fighting for justice and equality. And we're looking back at the history made here at home, a pivotal moment in South Florida's political history. It was the year 2000, in the midst of the fiercely disputed Bush-Gore presidential recount, when Reverend Jackson led a march through West Palm Beach. Thousands poured into the streets, a march that started downtown and ended at the government center. And during that historic period, CBS 12 News at the time asked Reverend Jackson why he felt compelled to come to South Florida.
Because I'm concerned about the integrity of our democracy, about an election that has enormous implications for our nation and for our world.
And I spoke with community activist Bryce Graham. He first met Reverend Jackson when he was just 9 years old at a Big Dream Summit hosted by prominent Treasure Coast attorney Willie Gary. This happened in Port St. Lucie. He says that moment helped shape his own path in the civil rights work.
He was not only a reverend, but he was a mentor to myself and countless others in the civil rights movement in this era. I could never fill the shoes of Reverend Jackson, but what I will do is continue to stay in the fight of equality, the fight of justice, and the fight of truth.
Yeah, and Jackson made White House bids in 1984 and 1988. These photos were shared by former mayor of Vero Beach, now Bishop Thomas Masters, a close friend of Jackson. And he tells us this was at a local hotel in West Palm Beach in the 80s during his first campaign tour. Jackson has been hospitalized in recent months as he dealt with a degenerative brain disease before his passing. Leaders in Washington have been reacting to his death, with President Donald Trump offering his condolences, saying that he knew Jackson well long before becoming president. Back to you.